problems that we both face. We're going to try to be helpful in, stopping the flow of guns and trying to reduce the demand for the flow of drugs. We recognize that we have a responsibility.
Here's Hillary Clinton stabbing America in the back.
At all believe
she goes to Mexico as Secretary of State. Instead of saying we're going to put the military on the border to stop the drug violence from spilling over into our country, she says we have responsibility for the violence spilling over into our country. Now, you understand that Obama and his minions are basically, how shall I put it in a delicate manner? They're blame America first people. Let's put it to you that way. Here's this cretin, Geithner, who works for him, this moron, who today says he's open to the proposal by China to drop the U.S. dollar and come up with a new world currency. The dollar drops on this moron's comment. Foreign exchange markets are roiled. This guy is a psychopath that needs to be thrown out immediately. We got Giggles the Clown running America. We got one inexperienced lunatic after another stabbing us in the back, and the country is going down the drain. People are catching on, but I don't know if they're going to catch on fast enough. Again, am I right or wrong? I'm right. I can read the tea leaves. This psycho, Geithner, who is also as corrupt as they come, don't think he's such a Boy Scout. He may look like a Cub Scout, but he's a corrupt, in my opinion, a corrupt, fetid individual. This bum was at the Federal Reserve Bank while the bonuses were given out to the AIG people. This bum was at the Federal Reserve while the country melted down under George Bush, and now he's acting like he doesn't know what happened. Now, this same cretin Geithner at the Council on Foreign Relations, an un-American, anti-American group, says the U.S. is open to a headline-grabbing proposal by the governor of the China Central Bank to replace the dollar with a new global currency. Can you believe this? He says we're actually quite open to that suggestion. You should see it as rather evolutionary, rather building on the current architecture, rather than moving us to global monetary union. This is Geithner, our Treasury Secretary, saying the dollar should be dropped for some concept of a new world currency created by our dear friends, the kidney eaters of China. This guy is insane. He's trying to destroy the U.S. dollar. This is the New World Order that I've been talking about for years. Here is China calling the shots for a new one global currency. I guess they'll call it the Worldo. He is not a distinguished central banker. This guy is a communist. Obama is a communist. Geithner is a communist. They are the Manchurian candidates you have feared all your life. New global currency? New global currency? Are these people totally crazy? What is it going to take for the average American to awaken to the fact that we are living with an anti-American administration running the show? Today, I want to tell you why I am not a conservative. Now, I realize that sounds like it's a shocker since I've been typecast as this and as that for 15 years, but I am not a conservative. I realized today that by declaring myself anything, I immediately turn off 50% of the potential listeners. Now, I declared myself an independent when I began because I was never a registered Republican in my adult life so far as I can recall. But today, everyone's an independent. Nobody wants to be labeled a Republican, certainly, or a Democrat. I don't believe that that's a proper label for me. I don't believe being an independent is sufficient today. I would call myself either a realist or a pragmatist, and that's going to be my new designation to you, and I'll tell you why. I'm usually 100% right about everything. I'm rarely wrong. It's a product of a great mind, a great education, and a very curious mind, and a long life. That's number three. Three things that you cannot match and you can't create overnight. Just as fine wine takes time to make, let me tell you something about it. Fine talk shows take a long time to make as well. I read this story. The day I read it, I said to my producer, you can ask him, Beowulf, come on the air right now. Are you there? Hit a button.
Right here, sir.
All right, Beowulf is my producer, Beowulf Rockland. When did I pick up on the story? Was it over the weekend? When did it first appear?
You told me about it on Monday, and that's when you
right. And didn't I? What did I say to you right off the bat? I said, I'll bet you that this was what?
You said that this was probably a gay sex crime of some sort.
Okay, and I said rough trade sex, and you said And you said, I don't think that's possible.
I was wrong. You were right.
Well, it's not that you were wrong and I was right. This newsman, God rest his soul, had worked out here, and there was no implication of any kind of anomaly in that regard, right?
Absolutely not. No, I remember hearing him back in the 90s.
No. I mean, he worked at a local station. Everyone had good things to say about him. He was a nice guy. But when I saw stabbing in his Borum Hill apartment, I said it has all the earmarks of a rough trade sex act gone wild, gone wrong. Now, it's the same thing with almost everything else. I can figure things out pretty much as they are. I don't need anyone to tell me what I should think. I certainly don't need Obama the Magnificent, who I affectionately call Giggles the President, to tell me what reality is. I'm the realist, not him.